Welcome back to day 10 of the 100 horror films in 31 days. Got in 4 films today. First up is 1960's The Vampire and the Ballerina. This is a Scream Factory release directed by Rinaldo Polonetti. He also did Black Magic Rights. I think he only had like 4 directorial credits. He's an Italian director. And this is a interesting gothic vampire film. It's kind of caught between the old Universal influences and what later became the more gory, sleazier Hammer Productions and European productions. It was kind of caught in the middle of those two. So it's still, to me, leans heavily on Universal influences. It's very gothic, but not gory or bloody or even erotic. Although the title would indicate that ballerinas are. I mean, there is some good-looking women in this, but it's not overt. It's a little long. It's 145 minutes, and there's a number of sequences, ballerina dance numbers that all I can say is, I mean, there's kind of filler, but every time they have these little dance sequences, it just kind of brings the movie to a stop. I think they've been just better off playing it as a straight vampire film and not inserting the ballerina concept. But I enjoyed it. I mean, it's a fun watch. The vampire is very cool. He's got kind of a zombie face that goes along with his fangs. It's a fun watch. It's just a little long for me, so I give it a 6.5 out of 10. This release, unfortunately, has little to no special features. I mean, I think it's got a trailer, pretty bare bones, but picture quality is good, sound quality is good. Next up, I watched Happy Death Day. I did a review of this. I saw Happy Death Day in the theater, so I've done a separate review of it, and it was part of a subset selection as part of the challenge, so I kind of had to watch it again. I didn't want to watch it again. Directed by a guy named Chris Langdon, who did all these Paranormal Activity movies. I mean, if you look at his portfolio of films and Happy Death Day, I mean, I hate to be critical, but it's very lightweight. I mean, it's a lightweight horror. It's teeny bop horror, I call it. I mean, you know, and Happy Death Day was a PG-13. It's geared, to me, the film is geared to a very narrow sub-segment audience of, I don't know, 12 to 18-year-old girls. I mean, I just don't see anybody other than that segment of film viewing to like this movie. I mean, I just don't like it. It's repetitious. It's not very interesting, and I don't know. Obviously I don't like it at all. It's not a horrible film. It just has nothing. It just doesn't bring anything of interest to the table. I give it a 5 out of 10. I think I gave it a 6 out of 10 originally. I'm going to drop it down. I just don't see any redeeming qualities to it. It's a teeny bopper film. I mean, anyway, I didn't buy it, and I have no intention to ever buy it. In fact, now that I've seen it twice, I'm good until 2050, if I live to 2050. Next up, interesting documentary, 2017's To Hell and Back, Kane Hodder. Man, this is a really good documentary. It runs almost 2 hours, and it's got 90 minutes of deleted scenes, which I haven't seen yet. But it's a very, Kane Hodder really opens up about his whole life, from his childhood when he was apparently kind of picked on as a kid to the tragic burn that he suffered doing a stunt. I mean, he goes into great detail about that whole period in his life and how that's affected his entire life afterwards. Very interesting. I really enjoyed it. It's a great look inside one of the greatest stuntmen of all time and the greatest Jason of all time. Highly recommended. Give this 8 out of 10. It's a Blu-ray DVD combo. And then finally, I think this is 1983's Of Unknown Origin. This is a first time watch for me. Peter Weller stars this guy that's being attacked by this rat, and it's just one female rat. But man, what a rat! It's really tense and interesting. This is going to be now my favorite rat movie, bar none. I really think this is head and shoulders above all of the others. Filled with tension. It's just interesting how he goes to war against this one rat, and the rat's pretty damn smart. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. Highly recommend it. I give this an 8 out of 10. Peter Weller was very believable. He made you believe that this was going on, and his obsession over the rat and just took over his whole life, affected his job and everything. Really, really good movie. Enjoyed it. Outstanding. I think there's a commentary track on here and some special features. I'll have to check that out in November, definitely. All right. Well, anyway, I had 3 good watches out of 4 for the 10th. Appreciate you watching. Thanks.